So today I want to give a recap on my trades on FCSC and BPTH. All in all, I'm up around $280, which isn't a big day at all. But it just wasn't one of those days to swing for the fences. And you have to understand that not every day is going to be a great day to trade, and understand when it's time to just wrap it up and walk away. So that's what I'm going to talk about in this video. Hope you guys enjoy. Alrighty, so today in the pre-market webinar with the Trade Buddy members, we were looking at BPTH, FCSC, and ATAI, and I ended up only trading FCSC and BPTH. So I'm gonna bring those up right here. And like I said in the intro, it really wasn't that amazing of a day. Not that many amazing runners. Really, most of the volume was reserved with kind of FCFC and BPTH. So FCSC had news. They had really good news, actually. I'm surprised it didn't run further. They had news on a deal to develop and commercialize their FCX007 gene therapy, which, you know, sounds like very, very good news. They got an upfront payment of $7.5 million. Lots of great keywords in that headline. So it had a very nice run in pre-market. Let me just bring this up all the way first. Had a very nice run in pre-market. It went up from, you know, around 227s to a high of 283s, or actually 295. And what I was telling the members during the pre-market webinar is that I really want to wait and see what it's going to do at market open, because overall my main plan or my main strategy with any of these trades is waiting for it to break over the pre-market range, and then I dip by that previous resistance as new support. So going into today, that's exactly what I did. And one thing I want to note real quick is that I know it had to break out right here just before market open, but I don't like to trade that close to market open, just because if you look at the volume here, let me take away the stochastics. If you look at the volume here during pre-market, it's very low volume, and at market open a lot of new volume comes in, which means that the picture can change very fast. So I just don't tend to like to you know, take trades that close to market open. If it's strong, then it should have continuation, and I'll be able to play it sometime else. It's fine. So we saw at market open had a pullback down to this 260 level of support, and then it broke out of that 295 range and squeezed up to around 317. So once I saw this pop, I knew that the previous resistance was just around 291. So I threw some orders at 294, 293, 292, and 291, just overall scaling in my size. Now, of course, you don't have to do this if you have a small account. Just choose one place to put the order. And of course, that's up to you in the end. If you want to go for the best case scenario, you put it right on top of the support, but you might not get filled. But if you put it too high, say $3, you may get filled there, and it could crack it, and now you have a big risk. So what I generally like to do is just usually place it a few cents above the previous resistance, just to, you know, have that decent entry overall. So I got filled. Most of my size, not all, because it stopped dropping at 292, and my 292 order did not get filled. So I had, like, I believe half size overall on this trade. And my goal was just to sell into the next level of resistance, because we do know from the daily chart that we do have a big level of resistance here from March 20th, when it popped up to 326, 327. That was going to be the main area that a lot of people were going to start selling and shorting. So knowing that, I just took those profits into that resistance. I sold some at 319, and I sold the rest at like 317 when it dropped back on down. And I did not want to buy this previous resistance as support, just because in this instance I know that there is a lot of resistance here, and this could be the top. So because of this case here, that the next resistance higher was a very large line that we know is major resistance, I'm not going to buy this previous resistance as support, because I expect this to be the top and it to have a big pullback down. So I did not get back in on that 310 run. So that was a small trade, nothing big, but just coming into the market, finding my entries, finding my strategy, and just repeating that process. So for BPTH, it was kind of a different case. I usually don't take these momentum trades, but because I kind of understand the background of BPTH, I understand that there are so many shorts in this play, and I just understand how low the float is. I know that when it gets volume, it moves very easily. So BPTH had news that they were withdrawing from their share offerings, which made it have a very nice pop from 15 up to like 25 in after hours. Just because if you look at the overall history of this, we know that it had a massive rally back in the start of March, a big short squeeze from 2 to 70. And now because it's kind of done from this rally, all the shorts want to ride this on the way back down as it starts to die back down. And one thing that they have on their side, like to guarantee that the prices will continue to fall, is the fact that BPTH is a company that has no revenues, no products. So the only way that they're going to be able to finance all their upcoming trials and phases with their drug is by doing offerings with their stock and causing dilution. As we know, whenever they do dilution, it causes overall share prices to fall because new supply comes to the market. But then they release news that, hey, we're not going to do that dilution anymore. So of course it gets a nice pop. And then today at market open, it had this big pullback, really big sell-off off of 24 down to underneath 20 cents. And I was kind of waiting to see until it made this bottom. And once it made this bottom, I wanted to get in and ride the momentum up to, my target was VWAP. So I got in with very small size. I played with 100 shares, and I got in right on $20, and I sold at 21.07. So my profit was around $1 per share, and my risk was 50 cents per share. So 1 to 2 risk reward, it's decent. Of course, I sold way too soon, as it was able to retest that previous resistance at 24.50s. So it is what it is. I'm glad I stuck to my plan because overall, that's all we know. All I really knew that was going to happen in this trade was I was either going to lose a $0.50 per share or I was going to make a $0.50 per share. So you have to understand that all we really know as traders is our strategy and our system, and that's all we can really depend on day in and day out. So it just goes back to that fact that you have to have a repeatable system and strategy that you can come into the market every single day and execute that on a repeatable process. And also what I want to talk about today is that understanding when to walk away from the market. After this trade, I walked away. I stopped trading. I said, okay, I'm up, $280. That's fine with me. I know it's not going to be a big day just because of how the volume was and the stocks we were trading weren't so great. You have to understand that not every day is going to be a great day to trade it. And just because we call ourselves day traders, it does not mean that we are required to trade every single day, right? So you have to be able to have that off switch, that discipline to say, okay, today does not seem like a day to trade. I need to shut it down and walk away. That's a part of building that discipline as a trader. If you are required to sit here 8 hours a day, every single day, that means that you are not disciplined. That means you're damn near addicted to trading. You need to break out of that mindset and know when to walk away. All right? Because if you're just sitting here watching the market and doing nothing, you're not really learning anything new. You're just sitting here wasting time. Go back and go study my videos. Go back and go study the course. You don't need to sit and watch the market. Not every stock is going to be a trade, and not every day is a day to trade. All right? Hey, I'm assuming that if you stuck around this late, you must have really enjoyed the content in this video. Well, I'm not done giving you free content. I have an amazing bundle of trading information that I've made over the years. So let's just break it down right now. So first off, it's my ebook, How to Day Trade Every Single Morning. This is the routine that I repeat every single day to find the best stocks to trade. I have the 10 most profitable trade setups of 2019. This is a a list of the 10 best setups that I've found and the traders in TradeBuddy have found as well. And then last but not least, my personal trading checklist. So this is what I use every single day to plan all of my trades, plan my entries, plan my exits, and everything in between. So I'm giving away all of this plus a live workshop with me breaking down everything about trading risk management, capital management, and trader psychology. So you can get all of this for free if you click the link down below that says trading bundle. Sorry about that. Click the link that says trading bundle and you can get registered for the free workshop and get all of this content. All right. Thank you all so much for watching this video. Please make sure that you hit the subscribe button to become a part of the TradeBuddy family, and hope to see you guys in the next video. All right. Thank you so much.